First Timothy 1 verse 5. Now the end of the commandment is charity. Indeed, for poor people in those churches, it is as difficult as reaching the heavens to catch up and have a strong faith. On the contrary, Zion will never allow such a thing to happen. All Christians who come to Zion not only have their offerings kept confidential, but they can also receive sermon tapes in large quantities for free, allowing them to fully listen and enjoy God's Word, which is incredibly wonderful. And there are many other benefits as well. But when people continuously receive the blessings provided by Zion yet fail to experience a birth of new faith life, they will shamelessly spew empty words when they leave Zion. Being in a church full of happiness and abundant blessings, those people dare to complain about feeling stressed and confidently express themselves as if Zion owed them something. Are they still human? Zion is too kind-hearted that these troublemakers can act so audaciously. If I examine my conscience, in this world, which another church allows people to revisit the messages of the past few years, decades, or even several decades for free? They even find it troublesome to record the messages. Yet, when those people leave Zion, they behave as if Zion owes them something, shamelessly blaming Zion for their stress. How shameless they are! Their speech lacks logical thinking, and they only know how to emphasize, "Why does Zion make me suffer so much?" Zion has always provided everything for those people for free, even discipleship training, without charging a penny. Not only do they have a weak faith, but they also have no sense of shame, as if everything wrong is due to Zion's actions. In reality, to have the privilege of participating in Zion but still having a weak faith is truly a waste of being a human. That's why I often say that once I give up on these people, I no longer consider them human. After some people are driven away, they still stubbornly refuse to admit their mistakes, and some others, seeing this, insist on contacting them and trying to pry into so-called insider information. Do you know any inside information? Is there a problem with this church? Do they charge people behind the scenes for the sermon tapes they give as gifts? After going back and forth, they ultimately leave together. It's chaotic, and they should be gone. Even after several decades, those people would rather believe rumors like a gossip queen than think that there is someone or a church that genuinely treats people well. Are they still human? They are not deserving of Zion. I have been giving to them for several decades without expecting anything in return. Every month, the church also bears huge expenses and pressures to freely distribute various products to the brothers and sisters, which has been going on for decades. With just a few words, in a matter of hours, these people deem Zion as inadequate and then proudly leave. Therefore, they will never deserve to have a good church. Because if Zion is not good enough, they are not qualified to receive any blessings. Since they do not know how to cherish, why should I waste such precious blessings on them? There are plenty of people who understand the value of it. Furthermore, I don't rely on them to make a living, and even if they contribute offerings, the church doesn't even know. This is a unique characteristic of Zion that does not exist in other churches. On the other hand, brothers and sisters' respect for Zion cannot be found in different churches. Most of those who stay also greatly respect Zion because they subconsciously know that Zion genuinely treats people well. Other churches are utterly perplexed as to why their believers do not show the same respect for the church as the brothers and sisters in Zion do. They then conclude that Zion is a cult, using brainwashing to control the believers and make them love the church in such a way. They cannot think of any other explanation. Are they still human? Do they dare to call themselves pastors? They have never witnessed such a situation before, and now that they see it, they firmly believe that Zion must be wrong. It's beyond redemption. I don't want to waste my breath arguing with these people. After several decades, is it still not apparent enough to see people's hearts? My way of doing things has always been consistent. Suppose Zion had only been established for a few months or years. In that case, it might be understandable to be misunderstood as a Ponzi scheme. But Zion has been established for several decades. Those who insist on accusing me of being fake, can they even be called human? They clearly cannot distinguish right from wrong, even when their livelihood depends on their faith. Sadly, all the churches I have encountered in Hong Kong are like this. Firstly, Zion's practices could be more innovative. Secondly, this creates a virtuous cycle that leads to these people admiring revival. However, when revival appears before them, they explain it as impossible. If they have only known me for a few years, it can be understood that they may be ignorant in calling it fake. But now, several decades have passed. Can't they reflect on it? At this moment, is the efficacy of hydrogen peroxide still considered fake? Is it poison? I don't think so. Can they reflect on their own conclusions from years ago? They claim to believe in science, but when faced with facts and witnessing Zion's numerous blessings and miracles, they turn a blind eye to them. God uses the existence of Zion to highlight the severe blindness and ignorance of people. You must also avoid falling into the same trap, or you will waste your life and have no way to turn back. However, this situation is not forced upon them by circumstances but somewhat self-inflicted. Ultimately, they have not lived with a genuine conscience and truth. So, even if you ask them to seek it and the truth is presented right before them, they will remain blind to it. From this perspective, life can indeed be complex, as it is intertwined with layers upon layers, forming a series of puzzles. Even in matters of religion, many people continue to go in circles. It is not without reason that the church is referred to as a sanctuary, a holy temple. Just imagine what would the world be like without the church? Even if Zion did not exist, and I were to study the truth of the Bible alone at home, I would never have known that through living out the truth, it is possible to nurture a church like Zion, where hearts are united and there is love and harmony. Without the church, I would only be able to speculate about all of this, treating others in my own unilateral way. I would never experience the convenience and harmony of gathering with brothers and sisters or even have a loving family, spouse, children, or relatives. All of these experiences are not possible for me to fully comprehend by studying the Bible alone at home. Such a life and community can be built through the Bible, transforming the church into a sanctuary by infusing the truth into it. 1 Timothy 1 verse 5. Now the end of the commandment is charity.
We're called to be a sign to all you nations, share His loving kindness. We'll sing to every city all around the world. We're called to be a sign to all you nations, go that extra mile. We'll shout it out to every women, men, and child. We shall declare His name, exalt our Father, glorify His kingdom. Tonight, life renews tonight, messengers of the light. Tonight, life renews tonight, messengers of